From prison food to luxury dishes around the world, today we're cooking lobster, pure coastal Americana with a touch of France. The lobster roll and lobster bisque, and you're gonna learn how to make them at home. Welcome back to Dalstrong Culinary Academy. I'm your host, Stan DeSouza, and you might notice that my voice is a little raspy today, but that's because I was up at 5 a.m. sourcing these off the boat. We're gonna cook these bad boys. Fisherman's friends, anybody?
Okay, so today we're gonna be working with a bunch of ingredients that you may know. Carrot, celery, onion, known as the French Trinity. That is our basic mirepoix to make lobster bisque. We have some beautiful garlic here, some herbs, flour to assist with thickening our lobster bisque later. The tomato paste will actually add depth of color, flavor, and acidity with that as well. We have some coriander seed and black peppercorn that we're going to toast and put inside of a sachet, and that will be to flavor our broth as it's cooking. We have some hot dog buns, we have some gherkins, butter, and we're gonna toast up the lobster rolls real nice at the very end. Our courtbouillon is gonna have our lemons, some cracked garlic, peppercorns, and herbs.
That's it, just toss it in there.
That's it, we're gonna start off just like that.
So far, so easy.
With our garlic, we'll give it a little crack. Like that.
And is this a traditional courtbouillon like recipe, like in terms of ingredients, lemon, garlic, and
give that a squeeze? It is pretty traditional. There's always an acid, be it white wine vinegar, lemon juice, can be any type of acid.
Okay. Oh, and salt.
Always salt.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll put some peppercorns in there as well.
Beautiful.
And we'll let that simmer away for maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And after that, we're gonna plunge our lobsters in and let them cook for about 7 to 8 minutes.
Fantastic. Bisque. What is it? It is a rich and creamy seafood soup that originated in France in the 17th century. Initially, it was a way for fishermen to utilize leftover lobster shells, heads, to make a soup. This dish, however, has evolved into a refined culinary creation, often reserved for the French elite. And one theory is that the French brought this over during the War of Independence when they were fighting with the Americans. And today, it's celebrated for its origins and its complex preparation methods.
All right, so first up, we're going to kill the lobsters first. There's one spot on the lobster, if you look right here, it's a little ridge that runs this way, and there's a line that runs this way. That is where you're gonna pierce your knife through, and that will dispatch the lobster. So you're gonna come through, and you're going to just push down, and now it's time to cook the lobster. As Stan recovers from his early morning on the boat, I'm gonna get started with our mise en place.
I appreciate you, chef.
So I'm just gonna take my carrots, my celery, my onion, and I'm just gonna dice them down very basically. This way here we can begin our base for our lobster bisque. So when we're working with a mirepoix, we're always gonna use the basic ratio of 2 parts onion, 1 part carrot, 1 part celery. So we're gonna break that down and get it all ready to go. So I'm just gonna peel our carrots. So our timer's ready for our lobsters here. Right now we're shocking the lobster, okay? So we're gonna stop the cooking process by taking these lobsters, submerging them in ice water. Okay, just like that. So it's kind of a perfect time to get our mise en place ready while these are
cooling.
And then this way here we stay organized and it's not stressful.
So again, process everything in steps so that you're not only not wasting any food, but you're not wasting any time. It's such a key component in cooking, right?
Absolutely. If you're organized, you won't be stressed out. We'll add some celery here. So try to keep everything similar in size. You want it to cook at the same rate. You don't want to get anything too mushy and too overcooked, or else it can make your stock very pulpy, and that's not ideal. So to make our sachet, we're going to take cheesecloth and we're going to add in our tarragon, thyme, and parsley stems, okay?
Okay, and you're using the whole stems, you're not chopping that up?
Exactly, we leave them whole. This way here we can remove them later. We don't really chop them up. You can bruise them a little bit if you like to get some extra flavor out. Okay, and that's how we build it. I just toasted some peppercorns and coriander seed right here, and we'll just sprinkle them in here. Okay, just like that. And then we're gonna roll them up, and we're gonna make our sachet. So we're just gonna roll this end to end, just like so. Okay, for our next step, we're going to be breaking down our lobster, which I'm sure, Stan, you're very familiar with, working on those.
Working on it. Oh, it's early in the morning. You have to break down lots of lobsters, chef. Thank you.
So we're going to take our lobsters, and it's completely normal that their limbs will fall off at this point. So the most important thing to do is basically take all the parts off from the body. So this is our knuckle, and this is our claw. And the easiest way to do that, break it off without actually hurting yourself, because these are quite spiny, is you just take the lobster, hold it grip side down, and just invert it, and it pops off.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. And then the big part over here, this is where it gets a little bit messy, a little bit juicy. So do this over the same pot that it was cooling down in.
Okay, okay.
And you're just gonna come over here and you're gonna twist, okay?
Okay.
And you're gonna have your heads here.
Yeah.
And these are gonna be really useful for our bisque after.
Absolutely.
And we have our tails here, okay? So just like that. Now we'll move on to remove the tails from the shell. And the easiest way to do that is you wanna kinda open it up, hyperextend it just like that. And what you're gonna do is, I like to take a towel. You can use paper towel as well.
Yeah.
And you're going to place the lobster in the middle. Before we do that, we're going to just crush. That's the noise you're looking for.
Okay.
Rock it back, and then you're going to push out.
Oh, I see.
And the lobster meat is free.
Wow, okay, that's super easy. But practice makes perfect, right?
Absolutely. So next up, you're gonna have the claw meat. Now this is trickier, but if you follow the steps, it's very, very easy. So you're gonna do this move here. You're gonna open it, you're gonna close it, you're gonna push down, and you're gonna push up. And then you're gonna pull this out, and that quill's gonna come right out. This way here, there's no quill left inside the shell. So that's ready to go.
Cool.
Okay, so you can do that with all your lobsters. So it's open, close, down, up, pull. Now, this next part here is a little bit tricky.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do is we're going to take our knife, okay? And I want everybody to be careful here because we're gonna be cutting down into the shell, okay? So you're gonna go about 1/3 of the way up, right here, okay? And you're gonna use the base of your knife, which is the strongest, and you're gonna basically just crack that in, and you're gonna give it a twist. And at that point there, your lobster meat will be revealed.
Oh.
And we have our...
Oh man, that looks so good.
So now we're gonna talk about the knuckle meat, okay? So this is what was attaching the claw to the body, this arm right here, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the meat out of this with a nice pair of really good shears, okay? These are fantastic, they're all steels, which means you can really cut through really well. So this is what I would use as a garnish in my bisque. This is what I would use in my lobster roll, okay? So we can have two completely different meals, and we can have some nice little chunks in our in our bisque.
Got it.
Okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in here, just from the end, and we're gonna insert our shears inside, and we're gonna give it a good squeeze. And then we're gonna do the same on the opposite side. And now we have our beautiful meat.
Knuckles for the bit, tails and claws for the rolls.
Right. So now we're gonna show you how to clean out the heads, because we can't just throw it in there with all the guts and everything in there. It wouldn't taste very nice. So we're going to essentially put your thumb in the bottom, and we're gonna separate it from the head, just like so. Okay? Now, some people would open this up and eat all of this inside, the tamale. Some people don't like it, so it's completely up to them. But
what exactly is tamale? What? It looks like brains and guts.
That's exactly what tamale is. It's brains and guts and all that good stuff that keeps them alive.
I'm one of those people.
So you can see here, we're trying to utilize all the shell, and you can see just how much there is. Their skeleton is such a big part of their weight. So this is why we don't want to waste it. This can add maximum flavor for our bisque, so we're going to use every part of it. Before we start our bisque, I'm going to rinse these off. So we're going to start building our bisque. All right.
Okay.
So we're going to take our carrot, celery, onion, and we're going to get that in our pot. And we'll have a decent amount of heat in there so that we can get a little bit of caramelization going. And then we're going to add our lobster shells and start the roasting process.
Okay. So a little olive oil. That's it.
Just a little bit of olive oil in there. We're going to get our veg in there. Okay. Okay. So now at this point here, we've sweat down our vegetables really nicely. Okay. We're getting a little bit of color on them, which is great. Now we're going to add our lobster shells and our tomato paste, and we're going to roast them together.
Okay.
Build a bunch of flavor. So I'm going to take my shells here, and we're just going to take them like so and drop them right inside.
Can we talk a little bit about the health benefits, the pros and the cons of lobster in general? Is it good for you or bad for you?
That all depends. So for men specifically, lobster and shrimp are very high in cholesterol, the way it impacts our bodies. So technically speaking, it's healthy because it's natural, but if you have cholesterol issues, you might want to shy away from it because it could impact your health.
Okay, I did not know that. Thank you.
No problem. So at this point here, we got everything roasting up. You can hear it really sizzling, right?
Yeah.
That's a great thing. So now we're gonna add our tomato paste. The reason why we want that sizzle is because we want to cook our tomato paste. We don't want to have it tasting raw. We want to cook it out into the bottom, fry it into the bottom of the pan, coat all those shells. Okay. This is what we're gonna do. This is called pancé. Okay, we're gonna dry out our mirepoix.
Oh, I see. Okay, so the tomatoes, I see. So it kind of sticks a bit to the bottom.
Right, and it'll stick to the shells, and that's really important. We want to get all that flavor rubbing off onto the actual tomato itself and all over the shells. So now we're going to add our brandy, okay? It's probably about 4 tablespoons of brandy. Okay, and we're gonna give it a little light just to activate our flame. And that is gonna really help.
So that helps take everything from the absolute bottom and...
Right, and now you can see here, that bottom's nice and clean. We see stainless steel again, we see no more brown bits. It's all clean, okay?
Right.
All right, so this is where we take the next step. Now that it's evaporated, all those oils and all that tomato is coating the bottom of the pot. Now we're gonna deglaze with white wine. White wine's essential because it adds acidity, okay? Because this is gonna be finished with cream. We want some acid in the dish so it has balance, it's not so rich.
Of course. Okay? So first deglaze with the brandy.
A cup of white wine, that's just to get it going. And once it reduces by about half and you don't see too much liquid in the bottom of the pot anymore,
yeah,
then I'm gonna add my stock. Now you can use chicken stock, vegetable stock, water, whatever you have. And now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add our stock, okay? So that's a liter of chicken stock. For 2 lobsters, I would put 2 liters of chicken stock, so I'm gonna add another one in.
Okay.
And we're gonna let this simmer. I would say 2 hours is a good amount of time because you want that tomato paste to mellow, you want the flavors to come together.
Sure.
And while that's sitting on the stove maturing, you can go ahead and prep your lunch, which would be your lobster roll.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
So we're gonna pop this in and we're going to get some more stock. We're gonna add the extra liter of stock and then simmer.
Got it.
So next up, we're gonna actually be making our lobster rolls themselves, okay? Because our lobster's all cooked, ready to go.
Yeah.
We have our buns.
Yeah.
We have our pan heating up because we're gonna pan fry our buns, get really nice buttery caramelization on the side. That's kind of the key with lobster rolls, okay? And then the ingredients for our dressing are gonna be minced celery, gherkins, shallot, parsley, chives, lemon zest, squeeze of lemon juice into some mayonnaise. I like to put a touch of sour cream because it kind of lightens it up and gives it some extra acidity.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. We're gonna put a little bit of lettuce inside of our bun.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have a delicious lunch.
So the lobster roll, where does it come from? Likely originating in the early 20th century, quite possibly at Perry's restaurant in Milford, Connecticut, when a customer requested a lobster dish to go. Over time, it's evolved into 2 distinctive styles, the warm butter version in Connecticut and the cold mayonnaise version in Maine.
So here we're gonna be making a little painter's palette of ingredients, okay, to put into our
Show these bad boys what you've
dish
done
later, okay? So we have some gherkins, minced celery, minced shallot, parsley, and chives. And these are gonna flavor our mayonnaise-based dressing with a little bit of sour cream, some nice lemon zest, lemon juice. It's gonna fold through the lobster. Be really tasty to put inside. So next up, we're gonna clean our lobster, okay? So an important part to get to is this as well. Okay, when we split the lobster in half, okay, we need to look inside and they will have a vein that goes through, just like shrimp do.
Yeah.
And it's basically their intestine. So we wanna find that. So sometimes, you know, they won't have any, or if it's off center a little bit, you wanna remove it. So this is part of it.
Okay.
Okay, we wanna take that out. Okay. Okay. So now we have our lobster meat here for the tails, okay? And I don't want to chop this too small. I want nice chunks. I want the texture of the lobster. I want to taste the sweetness. I want it to be juicy. If I mince it all down too small, I can probably make more lobster rolls.
Right.
But
you'll get less flavor out.
Way less flavor, exactly. So I'm gonna basically just cut these into nice chunks, like so. So this here, piled up here, is our 2 whole lobsters, and this is the knuckle meat right here, okay? We're about to mix our ingredients. First though, I want to toast our buns so that they're ready to go for when our salad's ready.
We've got the dressings partially made. The lobster's chopped up and ready to go into the sandwich. And I noticed that you put lettuce in there already.
Absolutely. So buns are toasted.
Buns are toasted.
Now it's time to dress our lobster so we can have some lunch. So I'm gonna put mayonnaise first, 2 big teaspoons, sour cream, 1, and then I'm going to add in all my little fixings. So a pinch of shallots, a pinch of celery, a pinch of gherkins, parsley, and chives. Of course, salt and pepper. Freshness with some lemon zest, okay? And a little lemon juice. Okay. And then we're just gonna fold this all together really gently, okay? Our bisque is finishing up. So we're gonna fill our sandwiches, and then we're gonna finish our bisque.
Ooh, beautiful. Oh, it smells so good.
Yeah, not bad. So it just takes time. That's the only thing. So basically, you don't want to rush this. It's something that's going to take some time. So make sure you have the adequate time to make all of this entire process.
Right.
If you don't have time, put it inside a Ziploc bag, put it in your freezer until you acquire more shells, make a bigger batch, and then you're set. You don't have to make the bisque the same day.
Right.
You can always save your shells from your shrimp and your lobster, use it another day if you don't have time.
That's great. That's great to know.
So now I'm gonna strain my base stock to finish my bisque, okay? So here we go.
And now what are you doing?
Next steps, we're gonna make a roux. So we have to thicken this broth in order to give it that rich, creamy texture, okay?
Okay.
So a roux is a thickening agent made from equal parts flour to fat. In this case, we're using butter, but you could use olive oil, duck fat, pork lard, whatever you like.
Okay.
Okay, so butter.
Butter.
We're gonna go in with basically 2 heaping tablespoons here, and we're gonna melt this all down. And once it's melted, we'll add our 2 tablespoons of flour, and we'll cook that out until it gets just slightly golden.
Okay.
We're gonna make our roux, thicken our broth, and we're gonna adjust it with a little bit of cream, adjust the seasoning, and we're done.
And we're done.
Now, when we're adding our roux to our liquid, we always use a whisk. A whisk helps it get distributed evenly throughout the actual broth itself, so that it doesn't get clumps. And now we're gonna take our roux and we're gonna add it to our bisque, okay? Like so. And we're gonna stir this, and you really wanna stir aggressively. You wanna disperse it and dilute it into the liquid.
Right.
And then once the temperature heats up, all of that flour is gonna start to bind to the liquid, and it's gonna thicken, and you'll have your base for your bisque. Now we're gonna lighten it up and richen it up with a little bit of cream. So we're just gonna pour it in. You can put as much or as little as you want. It's up to you. The cream is the other thing. How creamy do you want it? How light do you want it?
Right.
So that's all ready to go here. And just in my bowl, what I've done here is I've taken my knuckle meat, I've added a little bit of chopped parsley, put that in the bottom of the bowl. I've added a little bit of creme fraiche in the bottom.
Okay.
And then I'm going to pour my soup into that. It's just a little bit of a nicer presentation if you have guests over.
Right.
If not, I'm sure you'd eat it right out of the pot.
I would.
All right. So I'm just gonna pour it into my pourer here.
Yeah.
And there you have your soup. We can give it a drizzle of olive oil. Bon appetit.
I mean, I had some for breakfast today. Well,
Just like on the boat.
yeah, exactly. Just like on the boat, man. Yeah. So there you have it. Lobster bisque and a lobster roll. Delicious, a little time consuming, but if you're organized, you can do it perfectly well at home yourself. You don't have to be French to make a good bisque or lobster roll either. You're obviously not French.
And you're obviously not a fisherman.
Touche. Thanks again, chef.
Anytime.
See you next time.